What's up guys, welcome to the channel, and in this video I'll be going over Badger DAO, the BlockFi of DeFi. If you like the video, please like and subscribe and comment in the comment section below. Now, the goal of this channel is threefold. First, I believe that crypto doesn't have to be a casino or a game of trying to catch pumps and dodging dumps. I think you can invest in fundamentally sound projects that will accrue value over time. Now, invest is a strong word because so many things happen in crypto. Like investing in crypto might be like a 4 month time horizon compared to like a 2 year time horizon in stocks. But you still get the point. By understanding why a token is valuable and the project's ethos, I think we can understand when a token is undervalued and when a token is overvalued. And primarily, I'll be going over, in my opinion, undervalued tokens. In this case, Badger DAO. None of this is financial advice, and full disclosure, I own Badger DAO tokens. So, what is Badger DAO? So, Badger DAO is basically a yield farming protocol for Bitcoin, and its whole ethos is bringing Bitcoin to DeFi. It's their mission, and this really resonates with me because crypto. When I got into crypto, it was because of Bitcoin, and I associate myself. I identify myself as a Bitcoiner, and I really don't like this tribalism between Bitcoin and Ethereum. Like you have to be one or the other. I think there's a space in the world for both to exist. And with Bitcoin, sure, like as a savings technology, it's great, but it's also great to earn yield on it. And I think there's going to be, as Bitcoin becomes more mainstream and widespread, I think the demand for Bitcoin and earning yield on their Bitcoin is going to only increase. And I'm really bullish on the prospects of tokenized Bitcoin on Ethereum. As people might get mad at that, but I'm bullish on that fact. So let's talk about Badger and the tokens. So Badger DAO has 3 tokens. There's Badger. It's the governance token, which you can currently stake for yield. I'm currently doing that as well. There's Dig, which I'm not going to go over too much in this video, but think of it as an algorithmic Bitcoin. The supply of Dig rebases every day to try to peg to the price of Bitcoin, and it's doing a pretty good job so far. It has around a $400 million market cap. Not going to go over it in too detail in this video, but if you want me to go over it, please let me know in the comments. And there's another token that's supposed to come out. It hasn't yet, called Claw. And it's supposedly going to be a stable coin pegged to the US dollar that you can mint using assets on Badger as collateral. I'll go over more on the importance of this. But if you go to app.badger.finance, you can see this. And these options are sets. They're similar to Wi-Fi vaults. You basically deposit your assets into each set, and you can earn a really hefty APY. So if you look at this, for example, it looks really complicated, right? Curve.fi, REMBTC, WBTC, SBTC, but it's basically Bitcoin. And with Badger, you can currently earn 30% APY, on your Bitcoin, which is really, really nice. Obviously, there's risk with anything on Ethereum. There's a smart contract risk, there's the team risk, etc. I personally think the team is great and the code has been audited, but so far so good. And obviously, as the demand for these services increase, the APY will also decrease. But comparing it to BlockFi, 6% on your Bitcoin, I think it's pretty good. And when I think about how to value a token, I like to compare a token to its peers. So Badger DAO is a yield farming protocol, and what's the number one, the largest yield farming protocol in ETH? It's Yearn Finance. So Badger has over $2 billion of total value locked as of the 20th of February, and this is a valuation, a fully diluted valuation is 1.5 billion. And if you compare that to Yearn, you're getting more out of your money, right? If you're trying to invest in a protocol, Yearn only has $600 million, but it has a higher fully diluted valuation. How does that make sense? Obviously, you can't just use this to invest in a token. There's so many other factors that give a token value, but it kind of gives a good framework to understand if a token is cheap or not. And I just included Aave in there because I think Badger and Aave are really similar in the fact that with both protocols, you basically deposit an asset and earn yield on it. And Aave is the largest lending protocol. at $6 billion total value locked with a $7 billion valuation. So this kind of gives a good framework to say, kind of speculate that, okay, maybe people are overlooking Badger as a potential play. And the title of this video was Badger DAO, the BlockFi of DeFi. Now, why do I believe this? So if you don't know, BlockFi is a centralized platform where you can deposit Bitcoin and other coins to earn yield on your coins. I use BlockFi. It's a great platform, and I think it's only going to grow. Now, if you think about comparing both BlockFi and Badger, BlockFi, the majority of assets under management for BlockFi is in Bitcoin, obviously. People deposit Bitcoin and earn 6% yield, and if you want to speculate or if you want to take a mortgage on your house or whatever, you can use your Bitcoin as collateral to borrow USD. So if you have $100,000 of Bitcoin, you can take out a loan for $50K, and this is really nice because traditional banks like JP Morgan, etc., they don't consider crypto as an asset. So even if you have $1 million, even if you're a crypto millionaire, the bank isn't going to recognize that as a part of I guess your net worth in a way. So I think the demand for Bitcoin for BlockFi is only going to increase, especially as Bitcoin goes mainstream. And similarly, Badger DAO, you can deposit Bitcoin, earn a higher yield. There's more risks and there's less demand, so the yield is much higher. And you can also use your assets as collateral to borrow Claw. And this isn't verified yet, but I'm in the Discord. I've done a lot of research, and it kind of leads me to believe that this is going to be the case. And as Bitcoin is in a bull market, the valuation of BlockFi is also increasing. So this is February 12th of 2021. They just raised a Series D at almost a $3 billion valuation. And BlockFi has, in terms of assets under management, it's at $4 billion. So you can kind of see that BlockFi, like, their valuation is going to increase as the total value locked or the assets under management also increases. So if you add BlockFi to this chart here, or to this table, you can see that, okay, like BlockFi has $4 billion value locked, valuation almost $3 billion. The TVL to FDV ratio is 1.4. So maybe Badger, you can take BlockFi's valuation and kind of extrapolate, Badger's valuation from just taking the ratios, and they do really, really similar things. And if you think about it, it's not like BlockFi is gonna stay at a $3 billion valuation, and they're growing rapidly. And in August of 2020, BlockFi's valuation was $400 million, right? And now it's almost $3 billion. And obviously, since August, the price of Bitcoin has 5x'd, more than 5x. So obviously, the assets under management will also balloon. But the valuation of BlockFi is kind of reflexive in that matter, because as Bitcoin becomes mainstream, people will adopt Bitcoin more, and as people will adopt Bitcoin more, people want to earn a yield on their Bitcoin. So it's centralized, right? And people have issues with that, but BlockFi is backed by many good investors, and I think it's a good place. And I think it's cool that you can kind of extrapolate Badger's valuation from BlockFi's valuation. So as BlockFi has shown, these protocols, these companies become more valuable as there's more money in them, right? Obvious. And Badger is in yield farming protocol on Ethereum that focuses on bringing Bitcoin to DeFi. And like I said, as Bitcoin becomes more mainstream, I think the demand for yield goes up, and as that goes up on Ethereum, I think the price of Badger will only increase. Now, I'm going to go over Claw again because, this is pure speculation, but I think it's fair to assume that Claw is going to have a lot more utility, and the demand for Claw is going to be much higher. On BlockFi, you can use Bitcoin to borrow dirty fiat, right? And what do you want to do with that dirty fiat? I don't know. You can buy a house or whatever, but there's not much you can do with dirty fiat. Thank you for the USD. I guess I can, in a way, buy more Bitcoin. But with Claw is a stable coin pegged to the US dollar on Ethereum. And there's so much more you can do on Ethereum with stable coins. You can swap it on Uniswap. You can one day, stake it, or you can lend it out on Aave and earn a yield. There's so much more you can do with Claw than you can do with USD. And I think there's also Dig, which I didn't go over, and I think that I'm bullish on that too. And all these tokens, there's a Dig, there's Claw, and as the utility of these tokens grow, I think the price of the governance token should increase. Badger in itself doesn't do anything; it's just a governance token. You can vote on improvement protocols, but as Claw and as the demand for Badger, their protocol increases, I do think that Badger will accrue value, because with Badger maybe people can vote that, okay, like maybe if people can borrow Claw at a 10% rate using their asset as collateral, maybe 1% of it goes to the Badger token holders. Things like that. I think there's so much Claw can do. There's so much Badger can do. And I think it's really, really undervalued at where it is today. Right now it's around $60. And, I'm bullish on BlockFi as a company. Like if BlockFi ever IPOs, I'll be buying that stock. And if you're bullish BlockFi, I think if you're bullish BlockFi as a company, I don't really see a world where you're not bullish Badger as a protocol. And if you just look at the total value locked, right? Like it has $2.3 billion in management at a $1.5 billion fully diluted valuation. I think Badger DAO is a really undervalued project and has a lot of potential to accrue value to its investors and token holders. And the thing about Badger is you can stake it and earn around a 20% yield, which is really, really nice. You can't do that with BlockFi. Like you can just you just let your Bitcoin sit. So, that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching through the end of it. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and comment. If you want me to go over Dig in more detail, please let me know. And, if there are other tokens that you want me to look into that you think are undervalued, let me know, because I'm always looking for, value plays and good investments, right? Anyways, thanks for watching and have a great day.